Welcome to A Guide to Every Deck in Legacy. Today we're looking at Aluren. Aluren is a creature-centric combo deck that revolves around the eponymous enchantment Aluren. Aluren lets both players cast any creature that costs 3 or less for free at instant speed. This is used in combination with various cantrip creatures in the deck, but most importantly, to combo with either Acerak the Archlich, Ukima, Stalking Shadow, or Parasitic Strix. When Acerak enters, if you haven't completed the dungeon Tomb of Annihilation, it bounces back to your hand and you venture into the dungeon. Importantly, the dungeon you venture into can be any dungeon, not just Tomb. Thus, you can venture into Lost Mine of Phandelver over and over to repeatedly drain the opponent for 1 life. Lost Mine always ends on draw a card, but as long as you have more cards in your deck than the opponent has life, which you should, this is a 2-card combo that wins on the spot. Ukima and Parasitic Strix effectively do the same thing, although you need Cavern Harpy as well to bounce them. Other creatures in the deck include various cantrips such as Baleful Strix, Icefang Codal, and Uro, along with Cavern Harpy. Harpy can bounce any of the previously mentioned cantrippers and itself to churn through the deck until you find Acerak. There are some other creatures that do roughly the same thing, such as Arctic Merfolk and Barrin. The difference is that they're one-time effects, whereas Harpy can be activated as long as you can pay the life. With Aluren and Harpy, Barrin, or Merfolk, you can bounce Uro with its sacrifice trigger on the stack to draw your deck. Uro also provides a potential secondary win condition in the form of a large threat. Other creatures the deck may play are Leovold or Hullbreacher to shut off opposing card draw, especially cantrips. Leovold also quasi-protects your own stuff. Recruiter of the Guard to tutor for combo pieces, especially Cavern Harpy. Academy Rector as an additional copy of Aluren that can be sacrificed immediately with Cabal Therapy. And Grist for removal. The rest of the deck is a combination of cantrips to dig for Aluren, removal, and Force of Will. Sideboarding and Weaknesses. Aluren's sideboard is your typical mix of the various effects you would expect from a sideboard. However, because of Aluren, 3 mana value and under creatures are more desirable than normal, such as Endurance, Collector Oof, and Plague Engineer. Force of Will notwithstanding, the deck doesn't have that much interaction for other spell decks and shores up those matchups with additional counterspells. Since Aluren applies to both players, it can be a liability in creature matchups, especially against decks like D&T. Be careful and delay playing it until your combo turn if needed. The high amount of Strix and Codal makes the deck particularly good at blocking in matchups where attacking with a single large creature is the game plan. The deck is vulnerable to getting its main combo creature sniped, especially by counterspells, and so must time the combo well or have protection for it. If the combo creature does get killed, the deck has to pivot into a value midrange plan. Tips and tricks. If you have Aluren and Uro but no bounce creature, you can stack its draw first before the sacrifice trigger in hopes of drawing one and comboing off. You can protect Acerak from instant speed removal by flashing in Cavern Harpy or another bounce creature to bounce it. While you can flash in Grist with Aluren, you can't activate it at instant speed. Barrin and Grist can be used to deal with problem permanents on your opponent's side such as Merit Lage, Murktide Regent, or Aethersworn Canonist. Just to cover all bases, no, it's not worth it to venture into the other dungeons with Acerak if you don't have Aluren yet. If you're running Recruiter and Arctic Merfolk or Barrin, you can Recruiter for one of them, bounce Recruiter, replay it and tutor for Cavern Harpy, then return the bounce creature, replay it and bounce Recruiter, and thus tutor for Codal or Strix. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Aluren. I want to thank my fellow players in the Magic community for whom sharing their experiences helps make these guides possible. You can find additional resources, such as an up-to-date deck list, in the description. If you think I left out anything important or got something wrong, please leave your thoughts in the comments, and stay tuned to see what deck we look at next time.